So after making that trek from Evanston, it is time to play ball here in Game 2, the first game of our doubleheader. And Blackwell's first offering in, ripped on a line, and Paul Tates hauls it in, making a nice play at second.
Didn't even give me an opportunity to fill out my scorecard there, Charlie. First bat, first hit over to Tates at second.
Yeah, Griffin Arnone wasted no time putting that first ball on a line. So now one down. It's going to bring up Evan Minarovic. Blackwell kicks and fires. That one down in the dirt for the 1-0 count.
So Evan Minarovic had his first action actually on Friday. 3 at-bats, did not find a way to get on base.
As he pops that one up and out for foul ball. And for Minarovic, it's definitely a little bit funky to see a guy in this lineup with who he hasn't had a hit yet. He hasn't gotten on base. But
yeah, he literally has no stats so far. So getting some action, getting acquainted with this team, and I'm excited to see what he has to offer.
As Blackwell's offering misses the zone again, bringing the count 2-1. And, you know, as far as getting things going for Minarovic here, there's no better time than the present to start to get things going here.
Absolutely.
So Jonathan Blackwell fires it in, and contact made over to Tates at second, gloves it cleanly, and gets the throw in time for the second out of the inning.
Beautiful play by Tates right there, getting the grounder, rolls right into the glove. Routine throw to first to Thompson, and just like that, 2 straight outs on the board, 2 up, 2 down.
And both of them to Paul Tates, very active over at second base so far.
Yeah, Paul Tates seeing a lot of action. Didn't see too much action in the infield on Friday, but first two at-bats, seeing a lot of action.
So now that brings up Calarco, who watches ball number 1. And for Calarco so far this year, leading his team in batting average, batting .333 as he watches strike 1. Solid work from Blackwell as he's really been going after the hitters so far. Blackwell fires it in, hit over to Albrick, loves it cleanly over to Thompson at first for the third out. So it's 3 up, 3 down to get things going here in West Lafayette. So as things get going for the Boilermakers, it's Mike Bolton Jr. stepping into the box to face Michael Farinelli.
Farinelli with an 8.84 ERA. Yesterday, it was Matt McClure who stepped in with a pretty high ERA, and some good pitching by McClure. He was able to lower it, so looking forward to see Michael Farinelli follow suit and do the same.
And Bolton Jr. the check, and he went. So that brings the count 0-2. And Farinelli has really been getting after him here. Farinelli kicks and fires. Fails to find the zone with that one. 1-2 going to be the count. And you mentioned it's been a tough season for him so far. 8.84 ERA. He's made 5 starts. This will be his 6th. And ring him up. Strike 3 gets Bolton Jr. on a nice pitch from Farinelli.
And so Bolton scored the first run for Purdue on Friday, instantly out.
And that ball chopped over to third. Shortstop's actually going to pick it up and gun him in time. Brilliant play by Livermore. He retires Tates for the second out of the inning.
So, quick inning so far.
So Farinelli now going to have to face off against Jake Jarvis. Jarvis, another terrific hitter. All 3 of the Boilermakers' first 3 batters batting over .333 or better. Farinelli's second offering doesn't find the zone. bringing the count 2-0. Farinelli, the 2-0 offering, fouled off by Jarvis.
And the other thing about Jarvis alongside Paul Tates, who's on deck, both of them have very high slugging percentages. Paul Tates at 722 and Jarvis at 683. These guys hit absolute nukes.
9 extra base hits for Jarvis, who watches strike 2. So the count now 2-2 in what has been a highly efficient first inning so far for Farinelli. Michael Farinelli comes set, winds up and fires, and Jarvis weakly hits that one off his foot for a foul ball, and he's going to feel that one.
Yeah, those are those are never pleasant ball to foot, or honestly ball to anywhere.
Well, we know how hard he hits it.
Yeah.
The last thing he wants to do is hit it off himself. So count still 2-2 with 2 down here in the bottom of the first. It's Michael Farinelli. Steps onto the bump. Kicks and fires. And gets Jarvis swinging. Second strikeout of the first inning for Michael Farinelli. And it's 3 up, 3 down for the Boilermakers. And what an inning that was.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
No one wants to sit in the shade.
Yeah, the shade can be cold. That's understandable. That sun, very warm, very nice. But yeah, the shade, that can be where it's a bit chilly. I'll give the fans that.
So now strike 2 after a quick 0-2 from Blackwell here. As he's been going right after designated hitter Alex Rosner. Rosner, an interesting choice at that designated hitter spot, batting just a tick over 200. As Blackwell fails to find the zone there. Now 1-2 here in the top of the third. Jonathan Blackwell fires it in and fouled off by Alex Rosner. The lefty kicks and fires, and that one ripped up the middle. Tates fields it and gets the throw to first in time for out 1 after quickly retiring Rosner.
It's the Paul Tate show today in the infield. That's his 3rd straight play. Well, not 3rd straight play, excuse me, just his 3rd play of the day.
And you know, you talked in the pregame, his bat's been red hot, but he's showing he can flash the leather a little bit too.
Oh yeah.
Now brings up 8-hole hitter Luke Tanner. Rips that one down the first base line, but it'll carry over foul.
Souvenir for the fans there, Charlie.
Certainly the case. And for left fielder Tanner, it's been a pretty efficient season hitting so far for him. Limited sample size, though, only 18 at-bats. So Blackwell's offering in just a bit inside.
And although he's got a limited at-bats, he does have a very high slug percentage himself, the highest on the team, 667. So if he can get a hold of one of these balls, he can possibly put this in play in the outfield, get himself extra base hit.
No question about it as he rips that one towards center field and down. Kornblum in pursuit, able to get that as just a single. And the first hit of the day belongs to Luke Tanner.
Well, did exactly what I said, except get the double. Hits it nice and into the outfield. splits the 3 defenders, and look at that, first man on base for Northwestern. We got some offensive action here.
And really put that one on a line right into right center. Great positioning. Saw there was just a little bit of an adjustment from Kornblum, who's playing a little off to the left in center, and capitalized. So now Blackwell pitching with a runner on for the first time today, as he gets strike 1 here on Tony Livermore, rounding out the lineup for Northwestern.
And Livermore looked to bunt, or at least that looked like what he was doing. We'll see if he wants to try the sack bunt with 1 out.
And they're going to check on the runner over at first, Jonathan Blackwell. Just making sure Luke Tanner's not thinking about going anywhere. With the lefty, that's a nice, easy pickoff move. So Blackwell looking over, pitch in, and downstairs able to be blocked by Cascanet. Brings the count 1-1. So now Livermore steps back in. Blackwell checking on the runner over at first again. And just to review the rules a little bit, if you've been watching MLB, you may go, hey, that's 2 engagements. But those are the MLB rules. Here in college, you can throw over to the base as many times as you'd like. You only get 1 time of not throwing it to the base. So this 3rd time is permissible.
And it's interesting to see that Purdue is checking the base runner so often. Luke Tanner himself has not even attempted to steal a base in his limited opportunities so far this year. And Northwestern as a team, they just don't steal bases. They don't attempt, they don't do it, as they do right now.
And the throw down in time. And a brilliant pop from Cascanet. Got it over to Albrecht in time to put the tag.
I mean, compared to the rest of the Big Ten, they are dead last in steals, whereas their opponent, the Boilermakers, they're first. So I guess it's Northwestern trying to play more aggressively, get those runners advanced, but does not work out right there.
So count now 3-1 on Tony Livermore. No runners on, 2 down. Pitch in, finds the zone to fill the count.
Just 1 more touch on stolen bases. They are now 13 of 21, so not a good clip at all.
As Blackwell offers that one in, that one floated up into center. Cooper Kornblum under it, and the can of corn is hauled in. So just like that, Boilermakers give up a hit, but a nice defensive play from Cascanet, and then rounded out by Kornblum. 0-0 here in the top of the 3rd as the Boilermakers, or the bottom of the 3rd, my apologies, come to bat. As Cooper Kornblum watches strike 1. Kornblum batting .279 on the year so far. Transfer from Wichita State. Fouls that one off for the count now 0-2. Michael Farinelli still working out on the bump for the Cats and has been very efficient in this one. Farinelli winds up, fires in, and strike 3 swinging. He retires Cooper Kornblum, and he's doing a terrific job of getting strikeouts today.
That is 4 strikeouts now for Farinelli.
And no doubt about it, he is dealing as that ball is floated out into right. Rustich in pursuit under and hauls it in. So nothing but a deep fly out for Cam Thompson in the 2nd out of the inning for the Boilermakers.
Yeah, and he is such an efficient hitter, too. He gets on base. He gets on base at an elite clip. He hits the ball at an elite clip. He even has some sneaky good power as well. And so, yeah, coming out of that 9-hole, it is like another leadoff batter.
And he falls behind here. Now 1-1 the count on a nice off-speed pitch from Michael Farinelli. So count now 1-1 on Albrecht. Farinelli gets the sign and fires it in for ball 2.
And the other thing about Evan Albrecht, he also is an elite base stealer with his athleticism. Just like Tony Livermore in the shortstop position, he is so good at he is so agile and he's so athletic. So he adds to this base running trio that Greg Goff has.
So after that last foul off, now the count 2-2 with 2 down for Farinelli. As he fires it in and gets Albrecht swinging. So another highly efficient inning from Michael Farinelli field, where things are starting off in the top of the order for Northwestern as Griffin Arnone steps in to the box. Rips that one floating foul. Bolton's pursuing it, but nothing but a ball over for the kids and the dogs to play with.
Yeah, get the ball to the dog. Give him a little toy. But yeah, lots of defensive action so far today. Northwestern with the lone hit. Oh, hey, there's the dog. Yeah.
Nice souvenir for the bark at the park kind of day today. A lot of dogs here. Blackwell failed to find the zone on that one. Count now 1-1.
But as I was saying, Northwestern with the lone hit of the day, but it's been 3 up, 3 down for both squads every single inning. So back at the top of the order for Northwestern, and when Purdue comes back, they'll be at the top of their order as well.
So Blackwell puts that one down for the Worms, brings it 3-1. And Blackwell probably not used to this kind of game that we're seeing here. Gets a lot of strikeouts, but they've been getting a ton of assists, right? You're putting the ball in play and you're making the defense make a play, like you're saying. So now the 3-1 offering does find the zone. I think perhaps Griffin Arnone may not have agreed with that one.
Big moment right here for Arnone with a full count.
Blackwell fires in, and that ball ripped into center. Kornblum in pursuit on the move, and it is out of here. Home run for Griffin Arnone, 5th of the season. And just like that, he puts Northwestern ahead 1-0 here.
Charlie, he did this on Friday, and he does it again. Another home run against Purdue. His 5th of the season, leads the team. Griffin Arnone getting it done for Northwestern.
And you can see just absolutely clobbered, and Kornblum wasn't sure it was going to go out until he got to the wall. Took a weird flight path there. I think maybe caught a little bit of a gust. And either way, it leaves the park. Only the 2nd hit of the day for Northwestern, and it is a home run. And for Jonathan Blackwell, not the way he drew that one up at all.
Not ideal in the slightest for Jonathan Blackwell, but hey, Northwestern, you can't complain. You got the run, got the home run. Griffin Arnone celebrating in the dugout. I mean, in a game that's been deprived of offense, what a way to really start it and break open the game right there.
So that ball's ripped into right. Jarvis in pursuit, and a nice play with the Lions' mane flowing behind him. Jake Jarvis catches the flyout from Minarovic. And
makes
really
the nice catch.
Guaranteed saved an extra base hit there. That ball would have been very difficult to dig out there. So a nice play from Jarvis gets the Boilermakers their first out of the inning. And sometimes for a pitcher like Jonathan Blackwell, you just need to see an out happen, right, to try to rebound from that home run. So Blackwell fires that one in. Ball batted over at Tate's. Gets it over to Thompson in time for the second out here in the top of the fourth. The plate here, Blackwell's off speed, finds the zone for strike one.
And last at bat, Stephen Hrustich demonstrated his excellent plate discipline, was down in the count, fought his way back before sending the ground out over to Joe Stevens, but see what Hrustich can do now on the 1-1 count.
Blackwell fires in, ball ripped, and a blooper to the outfield will give Northwestern another base runner, Stephen Hrustich.
And now with 2 outs, up comes Trent Leolis.
Yeah, and for Leolis, someone who's had his struggles at the plate so far this year. He's done pretty well with 2 outs, batting almost 300. As a pickoff over to first, back in time. And for Jonathan Blackwell, that's just as much trying to get a feeling of control over at first base.
Absolutely keep Hrustich from trying to steal.
So Blackwell fires home, and that one fouled off down the third base line. And nothing but another souvenir for the kids and the dogs.
Get the ball, another souvenir. Get the dog, another souvenir. I think there's 2 dogs over there if I'm counting correctly, but looks like the kid got it instead this time.
Pretty happy with that one. You saw a little fist pump there.
Oh, yeah. One of the best parts of baseball is the fan experience, right? Just being able to be out in the outfield and almost be a part of the game by getting a part of the game. You get a ball. Like, that's awesome, man.
You don't see that in basketball too often.
No, like imagine you see a basketball player just, throws it out of bounds and the fan gets to keep the ball. That'd be awesome.
It certainly would be, as Blackwell checks over to first base again. Count now 1-2 as Blackwell comes set. Checks over to first, and they got him. Second pickoff for the Boilermakers, and not the way Northwestern wanted that one to go.
No, we see Hrustich. He's not even leading off. He's not even cheating that much. Takes a little shuffle, but the throw to Thompson at first gets there in time. Wow, what a play by Blackwell to end the top of the fourth. Up 1 run with the help of Griffin Arnone. But Farinelli, tough challenge ahead with Mike Bolton. And said this at the top of the fourth. It was 3 up, 3 down coming into this inning. And so Purdue now back at the top of their lineup.
And for Bolton Jr., he struck out that first time, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. Farinelli had really been getting that outside corner from home plate umpire Wayne Harris, and he just can't quite find it so far here. 2-0 the count. And that one, again downstairs, brings it 3-0.
Yeah, the first 2 pitches were a bit outside. So just trying to find the edge, but cannot find it.
And Farinelli is able to find the zone with that one, bringing it 3-1. So now Michael Farinelli, 3-1 offering in. And fouled off down the first base line will bring the count full. And Bolton Jr. going to have to think a little defensively here. Almost was last at bat. Pitch might have been a little bit on the inside. So now Farinelli gets his sign. Ready, kicks and fires. And Bolton Jr. rips that ball into right center, able to track back and haul it in on an athletic play from Arnone in center. And Griffin Arnone shows he doesn't just hit balls, he can rob you of a fly out there. needed to be 409 to be out of there. So just a little too short for out number one. Paul Tates takes a big cut for strike one here.
Yeah, so almost a little bit unfortunate there. Had that been towards right or left, that would have had the distance to leave the park, but right down center, not enough on it. So it stays inside the park, allowing Arnon to make the clean catch.
So for Tates now, the count 0-2. So you can see the scoreboard's having some issues up there. So it's 0-2 here for Farnelli as he kicks and fires. Tates watches first ball of the at-bat here. Tates has been an immediate presence ever since joining the Boilermakers last year. As Farnelli fires that one in and strikes out Tates for his 6th K of the day. Farnelli came in today with 12 strikeouts in 19 1/3 innings work. Today, we are 3 2/3 in, and he has 6. He is absolutely dealing as he gets strike one on Jake Jarvis here.
You know what? Just ban him from casinos at this point.
Yeah, he is. No question about it. And Jarvis, with another big cut, comes up empty. And Farnelli just showing tremendous control on his pitches so far. 0-2 offering from Farnelli outside for ball one.
I mean, Charlie, think about this. The Boilers are a team that get a lot of hits, that get on base very often. Not a single Boilermaker has even gotten to first base yet. It's just been an absolutely amazing performance so far by Farnelli.
And the defense behind him has been terrific as well, but he's not leaving it up to chance. He's retired 6 batters on his own. That it's certainly making the lives of your defenders a little bit easier.
Absolutely.
It's a count now 2-2. Farnelli fires it in to Jarvis. And Jarvis watches 3 straight balls to fill the count here. So big pitch here for Farnelli. Full count, 2 down. Fires in and allows his first base runner of the day, Jake Jarvis, gets a free pass to first. So that'll now bring up Connor Cascanet. Farnelli's pitching with a runner on for the first time today. Misses the zone.
That one very outside and low.
Well, I think if Cascanet was a lefty, he might have gotten hit by that ball.
Yeah.
So 1-0 offering Jarvis on the move. Ball flying out into right center. In pursuit is Arnon and hauls it in. Couple nice defensive plays from Griffin Arnon. Boilermaker. And where Northwestern's going to be trying to build some momentum off of last inning with Trent Leolis stepping into the box. So he watches strike one. Jonathan Blackwell trying to recover from his first multi-hit inning back in the 4th. And now showing bunt. Tried to do a little drag bunt, no such luck. Brings the count now 2-1.
And Trent Leolius, true freshman for Northwestern, had the ground out in the second, but was an all-region academic team in high school.
And that ball is ripped to right field, just right of the foul line, bringing the count 2-2 now.
But also the interesting thing about Trent Leolis, standing at 6'3", 205 pounds. We'll say he's put on a bit of weight since high school, but he played football, right? Was the quarterback, but also was a defensive end.
As that ball is flown to deep center, Kornblum under it and brings it in for the first out of the inning.
Now coming into these later innings, but Cooper Kornblum able to track it down. And Charlie, that's another ball where if that's not in center field, if that's in left or right, that's another one that's out of the park.
And that's one of the big issues there, is trying to time it out so you can get it out of the center field area. And something that's worthy of note, Jonathan Blackwell was really dealing in those early innings, but as these hitters are starting to see him for the second time, they're starting to figure out his stuff a little bit more. Going to see if Cooper Ford can continue that as he rips that one foul down the third base line. And you're seeing it right there. They're starting to get a little bit more of an understanding of that delivery.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't seen a K since the second inning. Cooper Ford was one of those Ks, but in fact he was the last K.
I think he's the only one.
Oh, I read my scorecard wrong. You're right. My fault there, Charlie.
Well, it's incredible because we talked about this as a pitcher that had more strikeouts than innings pitched. And now he's put in a lot of innings, and he wants another. Strikeout number 2 for Jonathan Blackwell, and it's the second time today he's sent Cooper Ford back to the Pine.
I guess Cooper Ford is just is the lone batter that just can't read it. That one, a high fastball, but Ford still swings and misses.
He must be a Chevy man. Really not a fan of Ford there. As that ball is floated out into center from Ross Nura, it's going to come up just short and be hauled in by Ulbrich for the third out of the inning. So Purdue able to rebound after a rocky fourth.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Runner in scoring position as they check back in on Melvin.
We'll see how aggressive Purdue wants to be with Melvin. On second.
Bunt laid down, but it'll roll over foul on the third base side. Easy pickup from Leolis.
Not surprised in the slightest with the bunt attempt. Another aggressive move. Possible sacrifice bunt. Advance the runner to third with Thompson on deck.
And at this stage in the game, trailing by 1, there's few things more important than trying to get that runner in a position to be able to get in. So with the count now 0-1, Kornblum steps back in. Farinelli delivers and floated that one over 0-2. Kornblum took that one right down Easy Street. Michael Farinelli gets the sign, comes set, 0-2 the count, delivers home, and well upstairs for ball 1. Farinelli set on the mound. And that one tipped by Kornblum. Count remains 1-2.
And one thing for Kornblum, he comes into this game with an 11-game on-base streak. And so he will get one more at-bat. At least he'll get one more at-bat in this game. But this is a tough position right here.
And ring him up. Strike 3 looking. Michael Farinelli.
Yeah, seeing it from that angle.
as that ball's ripped by Thompson to third, gloved cleanly by Leolis. Throw beats him there, and Northwestern holds the runner on second, and through 5, Northwestern in control here.
But coming up, Luke Tanner, the guy who got the first hit of the game, the single in the third before getting called out attempting to steal. We'll see if Luke Tanner can get on base and give Tony Livermore and Arnon a man to work with on base.
For Jonathan Blackwell, he comes out ahead and gets strike 1 on Luke Tanner. And for the Boilermakers, the bullpen has been a bit of a struggle for them so far this year, so they're definitely looking to try to maximize the start from Blackwell here, which, as we mentioned, has been near perfect outside of a couple of bad pitches there. And he continues to go after Luke Tanner here. Count now 0-2. Blackwell fires, and that ball is ripped down the right field line. Floating foul. So for Blackwell, the lefty, he's had to face a whole lot of righties in this Northwestern lineup. Luke Tanner, one of them. It's actually the only righty he's going to have to face in these first 3 hitters. Delivers it home, and that ball on a line and down the left field line. Bolton in pursuit, picks it up, rounding for second. Play not in time, and a double for Luke Tanner. He's 2 for 2 today.
The first extra base hit of the day as well. As you said, 2 for 2 today. This one driven over to Bolton in left. A low line driver lands inside. And yeah, Bolton able to get there in time, but not enough, or not quick enough to prevent the extra base hit. Luke Tanner on second base in a great position. As we said, get on base, get yourself in a good position for Tony Livermore and Griffin Arnon with no outs.
So for Livermore, he watches strike 1, but Tanner, that veteran experience, really showing his stripes there. Again, Livermore just above the Mendoza line so far this season. A bunt put down by him will advance the runner to third. Throw in time. That play was a little close. Joe Stevens, though, able to get the out at first. So now 1 down and a runner on third for Northwestern as they turn this lineup over to the top.
Absolutely love this play by Northwestern. The bunt to advance the runner, sacrifice bunt, fantastic play, and an excellent position now with Griffin Arnon up to bat. I love that by Northwestern. Be aggressive, get your guys in the best position possible to score.
So for Griffin Arnon, steps in to face against Jonathan Blackwell for the 3rd time. And Blackwell, a little off speed, finds his own for strike 1. Blackwell gets his sign. Kicks and fires. And he hit him. A little too far inside on Griffin Arnon, and he's headed to first with runners on the corners for Northwestern.
Yeah, let's see. Just grazes the shirt. So yeah, ump calls, hits the chest. But it really just looks like it grazed the jersey.
Well, let me tell you, if it hit him in the stomach, probably doesn't feel like it just grazed him in the jersey over at first, but Arnon putting on a brave face, and certainly a situation they could be looking to run here. It's the throw home for strike 1, Evan Minarovic.
And what an opportunity for Minarovic right here. Now is the time to put some stats on the stat sheet. Still nothing but 1K so far on the season.
Yeah, for the Boilermakers, certainly looking to turn 2 with the 0-1 here. Ball on a line into right center. Kornblum not going to be able to get there. Throw in, and Northwestern, Luke Tanner touches home. Now 2-0. The Northwestern lead runners on the corners again on a nice RBI from Minarovic.
And this is the worst case scenario for Purdue. Northwestern puts a ball in play in the outfield. Kornblum not able to get there, so 1 run comes home. And Arnon advances to third. Runners still on the corners with only 1 out. Northwestern now up 2-0.
So just like that, Arnon now on third. Minarovic on first. And Alex Calarco at the plate as he watched ball 1. Now some movement over in the Purdue bullpen. So you're starting to get the feeling Jonathan Blackwell may be getting near the end of his rope here. Sends that one in and fouled off. So count now 1-1, 1 down to Calarco.
Calarco on a 5-game streak, getting a hit. And so if he can make it 6 right here, it'd be another fantastic turn of events for Northwestern.
A real nice block there from not Cooper Kornblum, my apologies, Connor Cascanet.
Wrong transfer there with the wrong C name.
The double C's, they always get me.
Cooper Kornblum, Connor Cascanet, both transfers.
Good ability to drop the knee there. So now 2-1 the count, now 3-1 after that one just misses outside. And for Jonathan Blackwell, difficult situation here. It's 3-1, and walking the runner here leads to a bases loaded situation. So now you're going to have to give him something to hit. And that ball ripped into center field. Kornblum in pursuit, called off by Jarvis. Jarvis hauls it in and gets the throw into his cutoff man. They're not going to be able to score the runner from third on a terrific defensive play in right field from Jake Jarvis, and the game stays 2-0.
Jarvis, oh my goodness, throws this ball on a rope. High fly ball finally lands in Jarvis's hand, and absolute laser down to Thompson in time. Personally, I feel like Arnon possibly could have made it home. It would have been close, but instead just decides to stay at third. So now there's no opportunity for a sacrifice hit. 2 outs on the board here for Steven Hrustich.
Hrustich, a quality hitter for this group. Watches strike 1 come in here. And for Jarvis, the anticipation on that ball was really great. He really was preparing for that throw that whole time. And Hrustich, we've already seen, he's 1 for 2. He's gotten a hit off of Blackwell. The hitters are starting to adjust to him a little bit more, so certainly going to want to be careful with how they pursue this one. Count now 1-1 with 2 down for the Cats. Jonathan Blackwell gets his sign, back on the rubber. Offering to Hrustich, popped up to the right and floating well foul. Didn't stop Cam Thompson from getting on the move to make sure, but
Cam Thompson always aware, always looking to catch those high foul balls. Not that time, though.
So now it's Jackson Danley. 1-2 count against Rustich and rings him up for strike 3. Danley comes in and gets the Boilermakers out of a tight spot.
Tough challenge ahead being Evan Albrecht, but like he's done all day, finds a strike and gets up early in the count.
That he does. Struck out Albrecht earlier today. So that one down in the dirt for ball 1. So count now 1-1. As Farnelli has already moved his ERA from 8.84 to 7.04 so far today as that ball is ripped. And the first hit of the day for the Boilermakers as Evan Albrecht gets things going. A nice hit. The gap between first and second.
Starting the inning off strong for Purdue.
So that'll now roll the order over to Bolton Jr. Throw over to Albrecht, not in time. And a nice firm tag from Calarco over at first.
And Charlie, that's a move I would not be surprised to see multiple times. Here we go again. Albrecht is one of the best base stealers in the Big Ten. We talked about it earlier. Purdue just loves to steal, super aggressive. In fact, they have 3 of the top 5 base stealers in the Big Ten. Kyle Hannon from Penn State is number 1. He's got 15. Cooper Kornblum has 14 steals. Evan Albrecht has 11. And Mike Bolton has 11. I mean, Charlie, how rare is it to see 3 of the top base stealers on one team?
As that ball is hit into play, and the double play not in time. A rough hit to first. Farnelli is giving out more checks than Twitter is these days. About 1 million times he's checked on the base runners here today. Delivery home, and Bolton on the move. Throw down, and not in time. Ford got a nice pop on it, but the speed of Bolton Jr. gets another steal.
Third base stolen against Northwestern. He had 2 on Friday. Adds to it right now, and Charlie, that's why you throw the pickoff shot, but Bolton just doesn't care. Steals anyways, sliding into second.
And that was a really great throw from Ford. That almost got him, but speed of Bolton just a little bit too much. And that one, gonna say, didn't find the zone. 2-1 the count now. Tates has been highly efficient with runners on, 358. And batting 350 with them in scoring position, which Bolton now is. And that ball is hit over down the third base line and foul. Count now 2-2 for Paul Tates. As Tates gets ready to step back in, Michael Farinelli comes set, 1-2. Offering in and outside for ball 2. Farinelli comes set. Turns and tries to pick off Bolton, to no avail. And that pickoff move to second base is just a very difficult one.
You gotta do the full 180, and it's not one where like, oh, you're a lefty and you can throw to first super easily because it's in your field of vision. Nah, you have to 180 whether you're lefty or righty.
And a big cut comes up empty. 8th strikeout of the day from Farinelli.
I mean, 2 Ks on Paul Tates. He's been one of the best hitters in the Big Ten this year.
And now he's got to face another great hitter in Jake Jarvis. And this is a key thing to note here. Farnelli steps off and doesn't throw back to second. That will be his one disengagement with this batter. So any other times he steps off, he has to throw, or it will result in the balk. Throw home outside for ball 2.
And the other thing about that K, now there's no opportunity for a sacrifice hit. 2 outs on the board for Farnelli. Jarvis can't sacrifice hit into the outfield. Or to the infield for that matter.
And Jarvis held up there, watches ball 3, but that outside corner, we'd seen that being called a lot of the game, not giving it to him here. So Jake Jarvis back in, offering from Farnelli, batted over to the shortstop. Livermore picks it up, throw to first, not in time, and Bolton Jr. heads up play, scores for the Boilermakers. 2-1 ball game here after a heads up play from Mike Bolton Jr.
And this is what happens when you have one of the best base runners in the Big Ten. Bolton Jr. knows there's no point in not coming home. He continues his momentum from third, slides into home safe.
Some momentum in the bottom of the 6th. Check to first over to Jake Jarvis.
Bolton, 2 of the 8 runs scored on Friday. Adds another one right there. Just been an absolute killer for Purdue.
And Cascanet took that one there. Check back to Jarvis on first. No such luck. Throw home. Count now 0-2. 2 down for Cascanet. Farnelli comes set. Kicks and fires. And Jarvis on the move. Ford able to block the ball and keep it in front of him, but Jarvis going to take second. So now runner in scoring position for Cascanet. Tying run, a combined 180 feet away. Michael Farnelli delivers home and well inside for ball 2. Michael Farnelli, 2-2 count, 2 down here, delivers home, and strike 3 swinging. 9th strikeout of the day for Michael Farnelli, and just like that, able to strand the runner on second. Now there's some debate going on here on whether or not he swung. Greg Goff, a little heated about the decision here.
We saw Greg Goff heated on Friday as well. Very upset about the call. Good offensive action there in the 6th inning as we head into the 7th.
So now Danley's still in after picking up the strikeout last inning. Ball floating up into the air, shallow center field. Confusion on who's going to get it. Kornblum calls him off and hauls it in. And Purdue survives some miscommunication there for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, you had 4 Boilermakers there. Would have been quite the error if the ball hit the turf, but Kornblum able to call for it and gets it. And Charlie, as you were saying about Jackson Danley, he's thrown 2 pitches. One pitch was the third strikes were strikeout. The second one a flyout. So 2 pitches, 2 outs for Danley.
And he gets his first pitch that does not immediately result in an out. So he faces Cooper Ford here. Ford, a couple of strikeouts on the day today, both of them from Blackwell earlier in this one. As Danley's offering, can't find it, so 1-1 going to be the count. Gets a sign and comes set. That one batted up, floating in the air. Castanet in pursuit, called off by Danley, and shows the flashes the leather there. Hauls in a catch for the second out of the inning.
Charlie, the FO1, fly out 1. This one popped up high. Cooper Ford has been hitting these, has not been able to hit on Purdue pitchers, has his first opportunity against Danley, and he pops it up right to him.
And great high IQ play there from Danley to call off the catcher. Saw that he was a little bit lost from having to throw the mask off and able to get the out. So that ball is also foul tipped. Now 2 down here in the top of the 7th. Danley has thrown only 10 pitches so far today. Stanley's 0-1 offering is in and floated out into center. Kornblum in pursuit. Under it and hauls it in for the third out. So it's 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 7th. And after the battlefield, I believe in the Civil War, as that ball is hit over to first, cleanly fielded, and a lovely play from Calarco for the first out. Got a nice piece of contact in. As Joe Stevens steps in now, and Farnelli gets ball 1 in over the plate. So that ball's fouled off.
So earlier you mentioned Joe Stevens. Came over, used to live in Australia, but so Joe Stevens, right? Multitude of sports he played in high school: soccer, he swam, he played tennis, but also the Australian baseball equivalent, cricket. And
you learn something new every day.
Yeah. Have you ever played cricket before, Charlie?
I have not, but I can tell you the pitcher role is called a bowler. Really threw me off when I learned that. I was like, they're not bowling, they're pitching. I'm like, I know, that's bowler. It's like, all right.
So then what's bowling then? Is bowling still a bowler? So there's just 2 bowlers. So what if you get the sports confused?
The world may never know. As Farnelli's 2-2 offering well outside now fills the count up here.
Yeah, that pitch got a little away from Farnelli. Low and wide.
He thought he was bowling there. Thought he had to bounce it in.
Yeah, good point. Wrong sport, Farnelli.
So Farnelli's full count offering in, and Stevens makes contact over to the shortstop, Livermore, and he fumbles with it. Can't make a play. Joe Stevens is going to reach on what will likely be scored as an error.
Yeah, the error by Livermore. Tries to barehand it off the ground, can't do it. Third time wasn't the charm. A little bit of frustration as Joe Stevens gets on base.
Just a little too hot to handle there on that one for Livermore, who's otherwise shown he's a highly reliable defensive presence.
And Friday, I remember.
And no doubt that he has put his team in a good position here. Have to see if Kobe Moe can defend it here as he tries to pick off over to first unsuccessfully. So his first batter he's going to have to deal with is Cooper Kornblum. Kornblum still looking for his first hit of the day, struck out twice in this one so far.
And the thing about Kornblum, it's been Ks on both sides, backwards and forwards. In the 3rd inning, struck out swinging. In the 5th inning, struck out looking.
As you can see, getting a look over at first. Offering home, and that ball batted a mile in the air down the third base line. Over in pursuit is Tanner, and it just floats out onto the grassy patch.
More souvenirs for the kids there, Charlie.
This is what baseball's all about, right? Some family on Sunday, let the kids have the ball. Look at that. Look at how happy he is. That's what it's all about.
Just a little game of tag out there. I remember when I was a kid, I'd go to the ballpark with my brothers, and we'd just run around playing tag. Such a great vibe,
It's what makes this America's game. There's a check over to first. Nothing there. Kobe Moe still just trying to get his feet under him a little bit here. So he gets ready to deliver the 1-1 to Kornblum. Fired home, and Moe paints the zone with that one. Bring the count 1-2.
Big moment for Kornblum.
Kobe Moe comes set, delivers home, and Kornblum held up, and the wild pitch is going to allow Joe Stevens to advance into scoring position.
Yeah, very wild pitch. Ford not able to catch it. Just gets right past him. All of a sudden, Joe Stevens on second base.
And with one down, count 2-2. Kobe Moe ready to deliver to Kornblum. Kicks and fires, and ripped by Kornblum out into center. Arnone in pursuit underneath, grabs it, and Stevens not going to be able to advance. So it's a fly out to center for the second out for the Boilermakers here. A lefty being brought in for the splits, a little favorable here as he watches ball one. And we've seen it a couple of times from Kobe Moe here. The off-speed pitch is really something he's a fan of, and maybe that's something Thompson, a lot of times big swingers have a lot of trouble with the off-speed. So maybe that's what Coach Greg Goff was thinking. Either way, delivery home in for strike one. It's Kobe Moe. Gets ready. 1-1 offering in, and Gill rips that one down the third base line and foul. A little parking lot shot.
So Charlie, being a Valpo native yourself, did you guys ever face off when you played baseball?
Well, Ty played a lot better baseball than I did, right? He was playing in a lot better of a league. Played with a lot of my friends who were good at baseball. I never got the chance.
Well, hey, who came away with the state ring, though, right?
I got carried to it as Gill gets retired there. Big strikeout from Kobe Moe. Leaves a runner on second, and Northwestern comes up big here. First offering in for a strike is Danley. He's only thrown 13 pitches so far across an inning and a third of work.
That's a very low amount of pitches for an inning and a third. 13 pitches? That's actually kind of crazy there.
Well, it certainly helps when your first two result in outs.
Yeah, that is true. His first two pitches when he came in had the third strike for the strikeout, and then next pitch to start the inning, a fly out into center. So, yeah, that does help when first two pitches are out.
So now Danley, the 0-2 in, and that ball, light contact, blooper hit into center. Kornblum going to be able to pick it up. But Luke Tanner, 3 for 3 on the day today. So he's been setting the tone here for Northwestern.
3 for 3. My bad. Read the scorecard wrong. But, yeah, so as you said, 3 for 3. A way outside pitch, but still decides to swing. Popped up into center in front of Kornblum and behind Tates. And Tates is a play we haven't seen in a minute. Defensively, had a lot of action early, but most recently, Northwestern's kind of gotten a good read of Purdue.
And a drag bunt down. Clean pick from Joe Stevens. And my apologies. Good throw to first over there. Joe Stevens did get that play over to Thompson at first. Or Jake Parr, rather. I knew I was missing a substitution in there somewhere. Little bunt laid down, tried to leg it out, but nice clean play, but it does advance the runner.
Yes, it advances the runner playing aggressive. And in a position like that, with no outs, might as well sacrifice bunt and get your guys in a good position.
And this right here, probably a wise choice, an intentional walk for Griffin Arnone. He's also terrorized the Boilermakers so far today. They said, oh, he's 1 for 2 with a home run. I don't think we want to see him.
Nope.
This also now creates a situation with force outs at first, second, and third, double play opportunities. So Danley is going to be paid a visit by Coach Greg Goff. A couple of guys up doing the stretch and toss in left field. And in fact, it was the only time he's batted with a runner in scoring position. So he's batting 1,000 with runners in scoring position. And a big cut comes up empty. Nice first pitch from Suval. You see that sweeping slider. Going to be the question of can he keep it in the strike zone to get himself out of the tight spot here.
Suval does have a really nice breaking ball, so, you know, just another addition, now another new pitcher that these hitters got to get used to.
As he delivers that one in for strike 2. And it's interesting, his delivery, if you watch the way he releases, it's just a little bit different. He comes out of a little bit different of an arm slot from the previous couple pitchers they've seen. Aaron Suval comes set, delivers home, and ball able to be blocked in front of Cascanet. Count now 1-2.
And Minarovic, who is at the plate, had the hit and RBI to bring in Luke Tanner in the 6th. So he got that stat he was looking for. Good stats to finally get on the stat sheet. Has another opportunity here.
And that ball is ripped into right field from Minarovic and down. That's going to be extra bases rounding, and they're going to send the runner home. They're sending a second. Throw in, not going to be near in time. And just like that, Luke Tanner and Griffin Arnone both going to score a base-clearing double.
A bigger lead taking control. 4-1 lead now for the Wildcats here in the 8th.
And for Arnone, got a great read on that one. immediately started taking off, took his banana, rounded third, and was able to make it home. And for Minarovic, I think you'll take going from no RBIs to 3 RBIs in one game.
And 2 hits. What a fantastic game for Minarovic. This is everything you could hope for in a hitter. Just trying to get used to college ball, get used to the team, get used to the lineup, that adjustment period, and you're seeing him grow up right before our very eyes.
And as for Calarco, he's someone who has been a reliable source for this team, but they've been struggling to get him going at all today.
Yeah, and you know, Calarco's a guy. He's another great hitter as well. He was the guy that scored a lot of the runs for Northwestern on Friday. 2 runs, 3 hits, and in fact has 5 straight games with a hit that looks like it could come to an end if Suval can get him out of there, but Calarco having not much success today.
So Aaron Suval, 2-2 count here. Offering to Calarco, fouled off, and down right in front of the Northwestern dugout. So for Suval, neither of those runs are going to go down as earned for him. Both of those will count towards Danley, even the intentional walk because of the timing of the substitution there. So Suval, 2-2 pitch, and he hit him. Suval lost control there and hits Calarco, so it'll be runners on first and second with 1 down for the Cats.
Not a good look for Suval. Not even close. Almost went behind his butt. But yeah, nails him. And Suval now digging himself a little bit of a hole here. As you said, runners on first and second with Hrustic up to bat.
Well, let me tell you, if any ball player could have a choice in where they'd get hit, they'd choose right where he got hit. But we talked about the issues with control with the 19 walks, and you saw it right there. Not quite able to keep a good handle on that slider, just let go of it way too late. And he's now got it 1-0 here. Good motion on that ball, but it moved out of the zone, 2-0. And a couple of pitchers now out moving in the pen for Purdue. As Suval tries to battle back here, taking on Steven Hrustic. 2-0 offering does find the inside corner.
That ball had a really nice break to it. Very high, but then falls right in the zone at the last second.
The movement has been terrific for Suval. Is that one down in the dirt for a 3-1 count now. And this is a key batter for Steven Hrustic. If they walk him, loads the bases. So certainly a sense of urgency for Suval here. So that one's fouled back. Going to bring the count 3-2.
You know, as much needed as this net is to protect the fans, I sometimes wonder how many foul balls I'd be able to catch if that net wasn't there, because that one looked like it was heading right for us.
Well, I guess the answer to that question would depend on if you have a glove or not. Because if you don't have a glove, I'm not putting a lot of money on you catching a lot of balls. They come in a little
You don't
quick.
think I could barehand it? You don't have faith in me, Charlie?
It'd be a toughie, and that is a walk right there. And just like that, Suval loads them.
And Suval is in quite the pickle.
And Suval does own all 3 runners, so any runs scored from here on out will count against him. Still searching to record his first out in this one, so he has to face off against Trent Leolis. That ball ripped over to Tates. Tates stretches out for it and can't hang on. So 1 run will score. Evan Minarovic able to get home, extending the Wildcat lead 5-1 as they have a 1-out rally on their hands here in the top of the 8th.
And Minarovic, the run was the one stat he didn't have yet. There you go, he got it. Evan Minarovic, 1 run to add on to his 3 RBIs and 2 hits.
So a strong infield single. Good effort from Tates, just wasn't able to get the transition. So that's another ball batted into the infield. Albrecht gets it to Tates. Double play opportunity, gets away from Parr, and that's going to score a couple. And the throw to second again can't be taken in by Tates. So now a base clearing, well, not quite, because there was 1 out recorded. So now going to be 2 down with a runner on second, and Northwestern extends their lead 7-1. As that one just a little too far away for Parr to be able to dig it out of the dirt. So score now, I believe 6-1.
So if I have it correct, Kalarko and Hrustich make it home, and Leolis.
As that ball's ripped into center, Cooper Kornblum is able to get it in and get the 3rd out.
Four straight runs by 4 straight people in the lineup for Northwestern. Arnon, Minarovic, Kalarko, and Hrustich. All 4 of them making it around the bases and part of a 5-run top of the 8th inning for the Wildcats. Now have a very dominant lead heading into the bottom of the 8th.
As that ball is on a line from Albrecht into left field and hauled in with ease by Tanner for the 1st out of the inning. Kobe Moe offers that one in and down at the shoelaces. So now the 1-0 offering from Kobe Moe in, and a big cut from Bolton comes up empty for strike 1. Kobe Moe offers that one in, ripped. Foul by Bolton Jr. Again, another parking lot offering. Good reason to not park in that front row over there.
Yeah, when I come to games, I usually park in the back row. Also, I try and park closer to the stadium entrance so I don't have to walk as far because I'm lazy. But, yeah, personally, if I was coming to any baseball game, I would never park in that specific area down the left field line.
And really down either line's not too good a choice, but that's the only place where you got parking here at Purdue. As Bolton Jr. watched ball 2 there. It's now 2-2. Kobe Moe upstairs fills the count up here. Moe comes set. Kicks and fires. And strikes out Bolton. So Mike Bolton Jr. second strikeout of the day, and it's the 2nd out here in the bottom of the 8th for the Boilers.
And it's only Paul Tates that stands in the middle between now and the final inning, the 9th.
So for Paul Tates stepping in, it's been a rare rough one for him so far. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. As he watches a high arcing strike 2 float in. Kobe Moe, a great off-speed pitch here. It almost looks like a curveball. Not super common at this higher Division I level, but if you can do it well, it's efficient and it's shown. 0-2 offering in and well upstairs. Brings the count 1-2.
Paul Tates could use one of his home runs that he's hit this season.
So that ball on a line to second. Couldn't be gloved by Minarovic. And it goes out to Hrustich in right. And just like that, Paul Tates gets his first hit of the ball game, and Boilermakers have a runner on with 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. So Jake Jarvis now steps in, 1 for 2 today, also hit by a pitch.
And this is key. Your 2 biggest hitters right after the other.
Jarvis has been very good with runners on base. 417 on the season. Did not go after the appeal. Brings a count 2-0. Also batting .350 with 2 outs. And if the Boilermakers want to try to chip away at this 6-run deficit, they're going to need it sooner rather than later. Appeal again, and Jarvis holds up both times. So count now 3-0.
Boilermakers running out of time and running out of opportunities. And
Kobe Moe comes set 3-0. Finds the zone for strike 1.
And come the 9th inning, now you're going to bring out a lineup in an order that's not your best hitters. Purdue, you're going through your strongest, your best lineup right now. And then come the 9th, you're just not going to have those guys. You're going to have to get through the entire lineup just to get back to Paul Tates and Jake Jarvis. Unless you can get some hits right now. Which, credit to Jarvis, he's worked his way back in the count, 3-2.
Been a tough go for him. Runner breaks as ball 4 comes. So it'll be runners on first and second for the Boilermakers. In what could have been described as a bit of a nerve-wracking at-bat for Jarvis there. Got it to 3-0, took a couple of cuts at some balls he maybe shouldn't have. Boilermakers need a spark. Moe's offering well outside for ball 1. Cascanet waiting for the 1-0 from Kobe Moe, who delivers. And again is having some trouble getting the control. Catcher Ford really wants to get a little conversation with him here.
Finish out this inning.
Looks like maybe just trying to buy a little bit of time as they have some of their guys starting to stretch and toss out in the pen. So Kobe Moe comes back in, 2-0 the count. And again can't find it now, 3-0. If you're a pitcher who relies heavily on the off-speed, precision with the aim is an essential. If Kobe Moe's starting to lose that, that could spell trouble for him. As he does find it with that one. So count now 3-1. Kobe Moe delivers home and finds it again. 3-2 now the count. Likely in that scenario, Cascanet's being told to take. You're seeing the pitcher struggle to find it. So with the count full, 2 down and runners on first and second, Kobe Moe gets ready to face off with Connor Cascanet here. Moe offers it in and contact made. Ball to the shortstop, can't be gloved by Livermore. Throw home, not in time. And a heads-up play from Paul Tates gives the Boilermakers the second run of this one.
Hey, Charlie, this is the momentum that Purdue needs.
And that ball hammered into right center. Rustich gets a pick on it, throws it home, not in time. Jarvis will score. And for Kobe Moe, retired the first 4 batters he faced and has now allowed the last 4 to reach. Count 1-0. Mo delivers and just can't find it. 2-0. And again, you're seeing that great movement on the pitches he's shown from the beginning, but lacking in the precision department. That one does find it. 2-1.
Charlie, that was a nice pitch just down the center. That's what he needs to throw every single pitch.
Essentially, that's a game of chicken. You know, you're throwing a strike that you know is going to be a strike, but if Steven's not taken, potentially giving him one he can take deep. But 3-1 now the count. And again, this is a situation where you have to give Stevens something to hit because there's runners on first and second. You could be talking loading the bases and potentially bringing the tying run to the plate. As he watches ball 4, Joe Stevens gets on and Kobe Mo fills the bases. Well, they say pressure makes diamonds, and we'll find out who's going to be one. Cooper Kornblum represents the tying run as he steps into the box here. Ben Grable fires home and in the dirt. Good block from Ford. Starts the count off 1-0.
Kornblum yet to get on base. 2 strikeouts so far today.
Offering in and finds the zone for strike 1. So count now 1-1. For Kornblum. Ben Grable. So that one's tipped, rolling just foul.
I don't know if he's lucky that that was fouled or unlucky. It looked like he would have still made it had it been fair.
He certainly got on his horse, but only time will tell whether that was lucky or not. So at the count 1-2, Ben Grable so far this season. With 2 outs, pitching only allowing a 91 batting average. Can he keep it here? Grable, the 1-2, and a check swing foul ball from Kornblum stays alive. So Kornblum steps back in. Still hunting for that first hit. Ben Grable delivers in another foul tip from Ben Grable, or from Kornblum rather.
Come on.
Ben Grable comes set. The 1-2. Can't find it for ball 2. And for Kornblum, demonstrating a lot of patience in this high leverage moment. Grable comes set, delivers, and again can't find it, now filling the count up here, 3-2.
A 3-2 count. Huge moment right here. Cannot give up a free run if you are Ben Grable.
Bases loaded, 2 down, full count, bottom of the 8th. Ben Grable delivers it in and fouled off. again by Cooper Kornblum.
I don't know about you, but like, this is a really intense moment. Like, I'm shaking right now. Like, this is huge. Like, it feels like Purdue is about to go on just one of those runs, but it can be stopped with just one strike.
You can feel the tension within the ballpark as Ben Grable gets ready again. Full count offering. And again, foul tipped by Kornblum. Kornblum just staying alive in there, just off on about everything, but almost on everything.
Let's go, Cooper!
Ben Grable fires it in, and strikeout looking. The backwards K sends the Boilermaker fans and runners back to the bench. Disappointed on a fantastic pitch from Grable.
Let's check that out. Replay it. Right down the center. The heater gets him looking and gets him out of there and gets him out of a tough position in the bottom of the eighth.
Only a moment ago, the Boilermakers had the game-tying run at the plate. Now it's the top of the ninth, and they're down by 4. As strike number 1 comes in from Aaron Suval, he's facing off against the red-hot Luke Tanner.
Great starting pitch by Suval. After 5 runs scored at the top of the 8th. That's an inning he's going to have nightmares about going forwards, but recovering well here with an 0-2 count.
The 0-2. Tanner makes contact, shallow outfield fly, Albrecht in pursuit, and hauls it in for the first out in the 9th inning.
And so Albrecht at the shortstop position gets the fly out, leaving Tony Livermore to come up for Northwestern. And now, Charlie, we saw one of the guys from Valparaiso, you're from Valparaiso, Ty Gill, come up to the plate for Purdue. One of my guys now is coming up, Tony Livermore, and then his teammate Stephen Hrustich.
He flies to center. Kornblum going to send him back to the bench. In a so did you know Tony?
So yeah, so me, Tony, and Stephen Hrustich, we all worked and played on the same summer baseball team. Shout out to the Northwoods League, Lakeshore Chinooks up in Mequon, Wisconsin. Hrustich and Livermore, both key players on that team as I was on the video production staff.
Well, I'm glad you said the town name because I would have probably struggled with it. That's a classic Wisconsin town name right there.
Mequon's one of the easier names in Wisconsin, to be honest.
There's a lot of good ones. I'm a big fan, but it'll bring up Griffin Arnone. It's 1 for 2, got intentionally walked his last time up. Obviously had that big home run that gave Northwestern the lead in this one. They have been in control ever since. Hit that one off the end of the bat, foul ball down the third baseline. Brings the count 2-1. So as Arnone waits, got to grab the baseball out of left field. And action ready to resume. Suval delivers and finds it, bringing the count 2-2. So now Suval trying to rebound. 2-2 pitch. Strike three looking. Aaron Suval comes back after a tough 8th inning and sits him down in order here in the 9th. Of Parr stepping into the plate. So he watches ball 1. Jake Parr has been a solid presence. Subbed in at first base for the Boilers. Fouls that one off. Count now 1-1.
So Thompson started in the 8 hole, had a fly out to right and a ground out in the 5th. Then Ty Gill came in the 7th, he struck out, and now Jake Parr comes in.
Parr came in as a defensive substitution for Gill, who's more of a middle infielder. Thompson was subbed out, didn't like the matchup. As Parr works this count now to 3-1. Northwestern still running out Ben Grable. Grable, the 3-1, finds the zone to fill the count.
Good pitch by Grable. Jake Parr, 269 average with a 346 on base percentage.
Full count and strike 3. Ben Grable gets his 2nd strikeout in as many batters faced. Remarkable work here at the end of the game here for the Cats.
Just remarkable work in general by this Northwestern pitching staff that really hasn't been spectacular this season, but that right there was the 13th K of the game for the Wildcats.
It'll now bring up the 9-hole hitter for the Boilermakers, Evan Albrecht. And we had mentioned earlier about a lot of the pitchers moving with ease, but for Grable, the 2 outs have come from 17 pitches because of a whole lot of foul balls in that last at-bat. For Albrecht, he got a hit earlier in this one. Big cut comes up empty. Count now 1-2. As that ball's ripped into left field, Tanner tracking under it and hauls it in for the nice easy catch. 2nd out here in the top of the 9th, or bottom of the 9th rather.
With 2 outs, 1 out remaining for Purdue. Top of the order, it's do or die now for the Boilermakers.
And Mike Bolton Jr. going to rip that ball down the left field line, floating foul. Bring the count 0-1.
Give the kids another souvenir.
And it really is now or never for the Boilermakers. Mike Bolton Jr., the senior, hits that one into left field. Luke Tanner ranging over under it and gets the 27th out of the game for this one. And Northwestern comes away victorious for the 3rd time this season after just taking control in this one.
And as you said, just taking control, taking this game over by storm. Northwestern, their 3rd win of the season. Really good performance, you know.